Wait. There's a kid who killed his neighbors over a TikTok video. Okay, I know I sound crazy right now, but yes, there's a neighbor who killed his kid over a TikTok video. Now, this is incredible, so we're about to react to this video, so let's get straight into it.
Latham allegedly stabbed 52-year-old Timmy Durham to death.
There's blood all over the place. I just got assaulted and jumped.
Aggravated manslaughter.
Who drives 100 miles an hour through a residential neighborhood?
What are you gonna do, Karen? Single-minded goal of becoming famous on TikTok.
This kid killed his neighbor because he wanted to be clouded on TikTok, basically. He wanted to have clout on TikTok. Because that's what I'm getting from the video. The kid wanted to have clout on TikTok. And that's incredible.
Knife, dude, you better play.
Okay, buddy, you can call him, take a chill pill.
Alright,
okay.
so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how an 18-year-old kid from Vineland, New Jersey ended up in jail for murdering his neighbor because his thirst for clout got the best of him. You know, it's a really tragic line of events and was completely avoidable if the right intervention was taking place. But that never happened. One small problem spiraled out of control and eventually turned into a chaotic shitstorm that couldn't be stopped once things got too far.
That's how we know
I first
TikTok
heard
is
about
gonna
this
be
story
gone
from a
soon,
viewer of mine
boys.
who messaged me on Instagram saying, "Hey Destiny, you've probably have seen this or not. I want you to react to it. I know it happened 2 months ago, but I just heard of it now." And she linked me a video saying, "Did teen kill neighbor to become famous on TikTok?" I even stopped watching the video because I can watch you react to it, so please do. And by the way, I don't really do reaction videos, but obviously this person, whose name that I'm not going to even try pronouncing in fear of butchering it, really wanted me to look into the story and talk about it, and that is exactly what I did. I investigated to see what happened, and man, I seriously had to roll my eyes after reading up on the entire situation. So basically what happened was this 16-year-old kid named Zachary Latham moved into his grandparents' house on Thornhill Road in Vineland, New Jersey, and quickly got into some beef with his new neighbors after Mr. Durham, the husband and father who lived next door, complained to Zach's grandparents about his alleged reckless driving once he got there. And you know how some kids are. Once they get their license, they act like they've never been in a car before and start driving around like they're in Mario Kart. But based on my understanding, after the...
Oh, he's not wrong, though. He's, like, on God serious about that, dude. Once, like, you get your license, you go crazy. It's like you're playing Mario Kart. You just boom, you know, like, it's crazy.
talk that Mr. Durham had with Zach's grandparents ended, Zach's grandpa pulled him to the side and was like, "Hey, yo, Zach. Come over here, B. You gotta stop all that crazy driving you doing around my hood before me and the missus decide to put your ass back on the street." And you know, basically, they forced Zach to go on over to Mr. Durham's house and apologize for driving around the neighborhood like a crackhead that just got his license for the first time. However, based on what I've gathered after looking into the story deeper, Zach's apology was filled with nothing but lies, and soon after that, he quickly went back to his antics and continued on throughout the community with his reckless driving. Mr. Durham, now seeing that Zach really didn't care and completely dismissed what had happened earlier today as if he was a dementia patient with short-term memory loss, got really annoyed. And his impression of Zach being his new neighbor in his neighborhood plummeted into a deep, dark, fiery hole of hell that could never return. From that point on there, he really did not like Zach. And that is when everything started to go downhill and was the catalyst for what would one day start a bloody fight that would end up taking Mr. Durham's life. And you know, I think it's very important for me to clarify that the killing of Mr. Durham didn't just happen out of nowhere. It wasn't a random occurrence of unlucky events that led to this deadly altercation between Mr. Durham and Zach. Because what most people fail to realize is that after the initial confrontation 2 years ago, there were many more small fights, arguments, and skirmishes between Mr. Durham, his family, and Zachary Latham. Like, this thing has been boiling up for a while now, and tensions have been rising. Like, for example, a month before the killing, on April 6th, Latham recorded himself embroiled in a heated confrontation with Mr. Durham's wife, Catherine, in which he, in a video that I'm going to show you guys in like a second, calls her Karen over and over again after she complains about his wild driving.
What are you gonna do, Karen?
That's not my name, so get my name straight. Go ahead.
You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag.
Go.
Bro, I've seen this on TikTok before. I knew it was on somewhere, bro. Wow. Dude, this is the dude who Wow. Wow, that's actually incredible, dude. People do stupid shit like that just to get clout. See, you never look around. Clout's not the thing. You don't need clout to, like, be cool.
Get my tag, Karen.
My name is not Karen, so get my name straight.
Get my tag. It's okay.
A45MFA. Sir.
And after posting that clip, he went viral on TikTok. That specific clip accumulated over 3 million views on his TikTok account, and the people who commented
Holy shit, I wish I could get that many views. You know what, let's see if we can get me that many views. I wish, boys. I'd be like happy.
on the video were suggesting that he cut her tires, egg her house, and continue to mess with her even more. Like, you can imagine how he felt after realizing that people actually enjoyed his destructive behavior and that they actually found it entertaining, especially when considering that most of his previous videos got no more than 150 likes at most. Inside his mind, he was probably thinking that this was his time to shine and was actively thinking of new ways to fuck with his next door neighbors. And days later though, Zach actually pulled up to Mrs. Durham's house and shouted, "Hey Karen, we went viral." Obviously trying to get inside Mrs. Durham's head by taunting her. Actually, in another video that I saw that he recorded, it shows him having a confrontation with William Durham Jr., which is her 21-year-old son, as he walks up to Zach's car, saying, "Get out of the car, bro." And then Zach responds back by saying that he's armed with a knife. And then he took that video, which he recorded, posted it to his TikTok with the description, "Karen's son found the video, went viral, and tried taking me out of the car." And actually in an article it says here, police responded to this incident and took accounts from both Durham and Latham, but no charges were filed according to an investigation. In the article it also says he has also blown her a kiss as he sped by while driving to his house. So obviously he was just continuing to mess with her and trying to taunt her, trying to get a reaction out of her. That's the kind of guy that he is. This Zach guy, whoever the fuck he is a straight up dickhead. Like, he's an actual asshole. And to be honest, I would never want someone like him to be my neighbor, because like, we would definitely be fighting every other week if he was on some bullshit like that while living right next door to me. But after reading up on some articles about this guy and who he is, I couldn't find much. Like, information about his life and his personal background was pretty sparse. However, after doing a little digging, I found out that this guy Zach was emancipated at 17 and was a soldier in the army serving as a National Guard private at 18. Which is ironic, since being a part of the National Guard means your job is to serve and protect your state, country, and community. And
My man was a National Guard and he killed a dude over a TikTok just to be clouded. Like, what the fuck, dude? That's so stupid. Who the fuck does that? Like, you honestly gotta be dumb to do shit like that. That's so stupid.
not terrorizing and being a nuisance to your next door neighbors. I also found some images of him from his TikTok account that makes him look like a straight up egocentric kid. As you can see here in this image, it says 350Z owner, I love 5W-30. Is that a Tome dog? Society, neighbors hate you, cuts everybody off. What are blinkers? Road rage, loud exhaust, my DE will smoke your HR. Is this how douchebags communicate with each other? In another image, it says people in the army, because he's a National Guard in the army. He says, drives a Mustang or Camaro with 20% APR. I can drink more than you. Gets called stuck up, always loud, chair force, anger issues, has guns, likes to party. So clearly this guy's an asshole. And he's making it out to seem as if these personality traits are actually cool. Pretty weird. And another image, it says owning a Corvette. By the way, I don't know how you have all these cars at 17, but I guess good for him. Daddy's money. What's the speed limit? Want a race? Revs at the red light. Gets heated on for having a nice car. Ew, a Mustang stuck up. Yeah, this guy is basically like the epitome of everything I hate about people personified. He apparently also has a history of simple assault, terroristic threats, and criminal mischief on his juvenile record. So when taking that into account as well, Zach is obviously a troublemaker. And you want to know what the crazy thing is? The Durham family was trying to sort this whole thing out the legal way via the courts and through the law enforcement, but the police weren't helping very much and said that COVID-19 made the courts close. As stated here.
Bro, dude, I swear, everything is over COVID these days. Like, I swear, it's so fucking stupid. Like, I know, like, it's a big thing, but everything's over COVID-19, and like I know like you gotta be careful with COVID-19 and everything, but it's all over COVID-19.
The Durhams, their lawyers wrote, sought help from the Vineland police several times, but were repeatedly told that they could not sign a complaint against Mr. Latham since the courts were closed because of the coronavirus pandemic. And by the way, I get that the coronavirus was very tragic, is very tragic, as it's still going on, and you know, we gotta take it seriously, but are we really just gonna sit here and disregard the legal complaints from a person who's in desperate need of help from a dickhead next door neighbor who's obviously terrorizing them? Like, where do you get help if not from law enforcement? The deceased father's legal team notes that a judge and several cops live in the area and knew about the past trouble Latham had caused. Latham even shared a video of a police officer confirming that he won't take any action even though he saw video evidence. It's unclear which incident he is addressing.
Face, we would arrest you.
But you won't do anything even though you saw video proof, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
For your video, that is correct.
Thank you. Say what's up, TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, say what's up.
TikTok.
So my question is, what do you do when you're trying to do things the right way, but there's no one around to help you and your family? Especially after 2 whole years. Well, you try and take matters into your own hands. Unfortunately though, things went sideways for Mr. Durham when he tried to do just that. Because on May 4th, being the asshole that Zach Latham was, Zach allegedly swerved his car onto the side of the road where Mr. Durham's 17-year-old son was riding his bike. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Mr. Durham had had enough and decided to finally confront Zach face to face like a man after 2 years. And especially considering that Zach was no longer a child and was now 18, I suppose he was no longer in fear of being charged with child abuse if things turned physical. As stated here though, after Zach, basically tried to hit his son, Mr. Durham pulled his truck into the street to block Latham's truck. Catherine Durham, his wife, recording the exchange on her phone, challenged Latham over the incident involving her son. Video footage shows Latham throwing an elbow at Catherine Durham, pushing her back, knocking the phone from her hand, and speeding off toward his home.
Oh, they
and
can't
then
show
when
us the
Latham got to
footage.
his house,
that's
his wife,
stupid.
because he's actually married at 18, which is weird, who was recording the scene with her phone, walked down the driveway to confront the Durham's sons as they came onto the property, because the whole family was actually involved in the situation. They went over there like a squad trying to confront Zach about, just everything that happened over the course of 2 years. Sarah Latham, Zach's wife, told the Durham sons that they had better back up because they were not going to like what was coming out of the house. So obviously she was threatening the entire family. Soon after, William Durham, their father and the husband, arrived with his truck. Latham's public defenders say in their filing that he and his wife can be heard on the video footage clearly telling the Durhams several times to get off the property, and they are not welcome. The Durhams, their hands visibly empty, continued to approach, the prosecution filing says. So now the Durhams had crossed the line from their property to Latham's grandparents' property. But here's where things took a turn for the worst. Because apparently after he got back home after speeding off earlier in the story, he actually went inside his house, got a couple of knives and his stun gun, and came back outside to confront the Durham family. So clearly this kid wanted to fight. He wanted to smoke. He wanted to get down and dirty. And,
that's not good,
things
dude.
went bad.
Holy
So yeah, after going back outside, he confronted the family and fired his stun gun at one of the sons. It then says William Durham then grabbed at Latham, who slashed him in the right arm with his knife before retreating in his garage. So obviously, this is exactly where things started to go really crazy. Both Mr. Durham and Zach were in the heat of the moment. Their adrenaline levels must have been through the roof, and they were in full-on battle mode. But it didn't stop there, because after that happened, apparently Mr. Durham had followed Zach toward the garage that Zach was heading to. It then says here a brief but violent melee then ensued, during which the stun gun was fired repeatedly and Latham's wife urged him to drop the knife. So yeah, you can imagine. Sarah, this 18-year-old kid's wife, was recording the whole thing. And once I reveal why she was recording this entire thing to begin with, you guys will be disgusted. Unfortunately though, in a horrific line of events, Mr. Durham was stabbed under the armpit, puncturing his lungs, in what was thought to be the fatal wound that killed him. Perry, Latham's lawyer, did not respond to requests for comment on the suggestion that his client had lured William Durham to his death in hopes of gaining social media notoriety. Because as it stands right now, their lawyers, the lawyers that represent Mr. Durham's family, they genuinely believe that the whole reason for Zach continuously trying to mess with the Durham family was to get reactions out of them so that he could then record them, post it to his TikTok, and try to become TikTok famous. And you know what? In this instance, I absolutely do believe TikTok did have a role to play in the way that things ended up in the situation. You know, Zach's own narcissism, ego, mixed in with the weird-ass people in his comment section telling him to continue to keep fucking with his neighbors, led directly to this tragedy. But in my opinion, it's not even TikTok's fault necessarily, because in my opinion, TikTok is just a symptom of a larger pre-existing condition that we've had in our society ever since people figured out that they could gain fame from social media. You know, the idea of getting famous on social media is like an intoxicating drug that takes over your entire body once it enters your bloodstream. And just the thought of being able to do something wild to capture the attention of millions of people across the world really has got some people hooked like a fish on bait, unaware of the impending doom about to come their way once they're captured by a fisherman. But in this case, that fisherman is TikTok. But yeah, Zachary Latham, as of right now, was charged with first-degree manslaughter after claiming his actions were in self-defense, and unsurprisingly, Mr. Durham's wife and 2 children were charged with simple assault and trespassing, since they did in fact cross over to Zachary Latham's property and, you know, did contribute to the altercation that happened. But their lawyers, they want the charges against the family dropped and Latham charged with first-degree murder, because their theory is basically the same as mine. As it says here in this article, Latham, they say, deliberately drew William Durham to his death in a bid for social media celebrity. In a June letter to Webb McRae, the lawyers Diane M. Ruberton and Robert R. Simmons noted that Latham's wife, Sarah Latham, recorded the brawl on her phone and said she did so because it was her and Latham's intent to post these videos to TikTok and become TikTok famous. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, let me know down below. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram so that you can always know what I have planned next. And with that being said, it's your guy Destiny, and I'll catch you guys and ladies in the next one. Alright, so in an updated report I read after recording this video, I found out that this guy, Zachary Latham, isn't even in jail because apparently the judge who is currently overseeing this case didn't think it was necessary to jail him until his next court date, which is scheduled to be in May of 2021. It says here, in denying pretrial detention, the order said, further, for the reasons set forth on the record and herein, the court does not find clear and convincing evidence that pretrial detention is necessary to reasonably assure the defendant's appearance in court when required, the protection of the safety of any other person or the community, and that the defendant will not obstruct or attempt to obstruct the criminal justice process. The state did not meet its burden to detain, that there are no conditions that would reasonably assure the defendant's appearance in court when required, the protection of the safety of any other person and the community, and that the defendant will not obstruct or attempt to obstruct the criminal justice process. Therefore, the defendant is released on level 2 monitoring. Therefore, the motion for pretrial detention is denied. So all this means is that this kid will be free and out of jail for at least 9 months before appearing in court again, because they don't think he's a flight risk. You know, he won't try to avoid his court hearing and will come in a timely manner when they request him to do so. And you know, I kind of believe that this is just another example of being privileged in America, you know, if you fit into a particular socioeconomic background, that is. And I can almost guarantee you that if this kid wasn't rich, you know, was a bit tanned on that day that he appeared in court and lived in the inner city, this judge would have had him in jail until his next court date in 2021. It's a sad reality of the imbalances between being rich versus being poor in America. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a cold world out here, baby. Anyway, like I said before, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Okay, so you're telling me this kid right here gets out because he's rich? Okay. This is very, very making me mad. That dude should be in jail for at least life. He killed somebody over a fudging TikTok, dude. A fudging TikTok. Oh my god, bro. That's so fucking stupid. Like, everybody knows that's fucking stupid. Dude. He gets away with it because he's fucking rich. Wow, like, that's just normal. Like, that's our society. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at onlypineapples and Twitter at onlypineapples. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
With my nigga from the know, he ain't me down to let it spark. I forgot to mention that my bitch got an AR. I got a couple of tools, put you in the grave.